Yes, now, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Thomas Rants YouTube channel. And we're talking about Smackdown. It's Sunday, it's only 2 days late. That's better than I did for NXT, because NXT, I did that like 6 days too late. So it's good we're talking about it now. Let's talk about the Money in the Bank qualifying matches. So there was a hell of a triple threat match. Nia Jax, Jade Cargill, Naomi in a qualifying match. Arguably the three best female wrestlers on the roster besides the champion and maybe Charlotte Flair. So that was quite crazy. Naomi got the win, as she rightfully should have. And now she's now in the Money in the Bank ladder match. And she is actually who I am picking to win the Money in the Bank ladder match. Because on Monday Night Raw, we have the final qualifying match, which will be Stephanie Vaquer. It'll be Ivy Nile and Liv Morgan. I pick Stephanie Vaquer because obviously it's not going to be Ivy Nile. And Liv Morgan, I just think Stephanie Vaquer makes more sense. Because like I said on my NXT video, she lost that title for a reason, because she's going to the main roster. Which that would then make our Money in the Bank ladder match Alexa Bliss, Julia, Naomi, Roxanne Perez, Rhea Ripley and Stephanie Vaquer. The people who I can confirm definitely I think will not win is most likely Rhea Ripley and Alexa Bliss. I mean, Alexa's done it before. She's not really got the momentum to do it now. Having Rhea Ripley do it would make zero sense. Then that leaves Roxanne Perez, Julia, Stephanie Vaquer. They're all new to the roster, so it'd be quite a bold pick. If any of the three were to win the briefcase, it would be Roxanne Perez. But my pick is Naomi, because she's in a big storyline that includes Tiffany, Jade, Bianca, Nia Jax, and all these people that are going after the title that Tiffany Stratton holds. Naomi's going to be the one to take it, because she's a newly found heel and she's doing the best work she's ever done. And her taking the title will be a monumental moment. It also means that she can lose the title to Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill, which would be a better move than Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill beating another top babyface like Tiffany Stratton. So I believe Naomi's going to go to Money in the Bank and Naomi's going to win the Money in the Bank. So I like that match. Then we had another men's qualifying match. We had Jacob Fatu, the United States champion, Carmelo Hayes and Andrade. Now, what I thought was going to happen in this match was Jacob wasn't going to win, and it was going to be Carmelo who was going to win. I didn't think WWE wanted to put the rocket on Andrade. I thought they're trying to build up Carmelo now, you know, putting him with The Miz, having him win the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. His momentum's going up. Jacob's got the US title. Solo's ready in the match. They don't need him in there. And the Bloodline did, incidentally, cost Jacob Fatu. But then Andrade got the win over Carmelo Hayes, which I was quite surprised by. But it is what it is. I'm happy for Andrade. It's not the option I would have went with personally, but I'm happy for him because he's an incredible wrestler and he deserves the credit. You know, I feel like he's not given as much TV time because English isn't his first language. I don't think that's what we should run with, really. Just give him less mic time, you know, give him a manager or something. He used to have Zelina Vega. So, you know, Andrade's great. So far we have Seth Rollins, we have Andrade, we have LA Knight, we have Solo Sikoa, and who else do I have from Monday Night Raw? Penta. And now on Monday Night Raw, we're going to have CM Punk, AJ Styles, El Grande Americano. Well, I think CM Punk's going to get costed by Seth Rollins and everyone. That comes down to AJ and El Grande Americano. And I want to put my bets on AJ. While he still could get cost by Dominic and the Judgment Day, it would be really sad to say that we've had AJ Styles and CM Punk both get beat by El Grande Americano. So I'm just going to pray AJ's in the match. Regardless, it's not who I think is going to win the match. I think whoever wins the match, it's not AJ, it's not Punk, it's not El Grande Americano, it's not Seth Rollins. I think LA Knight is the appropriate winner, the person I want to win, the person most people would like to win. But if Andrade won, it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world because people like Andrade and people want him to be pushed. With same with Solo Sikoa, people aren't as big of a fan of Solo Sikoa, but he could really use the Money in the Bank briefcase. It would really help elevate his character and his career. And the same with Penta. I mean, Penta wouldn't be a bad Money in the Bank winner. I just think he's not right for this year, you know. But I definitely think it's LA Knight's year. I think he should win the Money in the Bank briefcase. On to, did we have any other non-title feuds? I don't know if we did. Let's talk United States title picture. So, obviously Chelsea Green's still chasing her Women's United States Championship. I think she broke her nose or she's badly bruised from Saturday night's main event. So she just went to NICHOLLZ protest, and we got a match between Alba Fire and Zelina Vega. Surprisingly long, but Zelina Vega got the win. And then we had a promo package from Julia, because obviously now she's signed to Smackdown and she's saying she's coming after everyone. And we had a bit of a backstage face-off between Zelina Vega and Julia. I love this, because Julia is going to be perfect for this Women's United States title picture. Because so far, we've just had Zelina versus Chelsea and Michin at the start. We've had 3 women going after the Women's United States title. You know, we need more than that. And Julia's a good star, good wrestler. She's going to bring eyes to it. She's going to help elevate it. And I see Julia being the next Women's United States champion. And I see it happening before SummerSlam. Before SummerSlam, Julia is going to be the Women's United States champion. Quote that. Come back to this video when it happens. I see the vision. As for the Men's United States title picture, well, obviously we saw Jacob Fatu in there tonight. And he told Solo, and it was Jeff Cobb, not Joe Cobb. I used to say Joe Cobb. It doesn't matter now, because now they've changed it to JC Mateo, which is just so less intimidating, you know. But it's fine. He told them before the show, look, you have your fun. I'm going to handle my business tonight. And they did have their fun, you know. They had a match with R-Truth, where R-Truth is actually starting to talk some smack now, starting to back himself. He's not so stupid. I mean, he's talking to little Jimmy again. But he said, hey, Solo, is this your son? Obviously, he's still being comedic. But he said, I'm going to teach him a lesson in the ring. And since John Cena's put R-Truth on the table, R-Truth has meant business. But with still remain, you know, his character. That's impressive, you know. So, love that. But he did get squashed by JC Mateo, which is bullshit, you know, just as far truth. My man's in his 50s. He's been here for 20 odd years. He's put his work in and he's still getting squashed. Ridiculous. Regardless, Bloodline cost Jacob Fatu, and Jacob anytime soon is going to walk away from the Bloodline, and we're going to get a Bloodline versus Jacob Fatu feud. A lot of wrestling fans think the whole Bloodline story should be over. It's been going on since 2020 when it was just Roman and Jay. I agree, it should be over. But what I want is a big final battle between all of them. I'm talking Roman, Jay, Jimmy, Rock, Solo. Well, Rock, that's high hopes. Solo, Jacob, Tama Tonga, Tonga Loa. And then JC Mateo, if he is actually part of the family, which I don't know if he is, debuts, they'll have to put him in it. Put Sami Zayn in it as an honorary use. Have every member of the Bloodline fight out in a battle royal, in a big gauntlet match, in a big elimination match. Who knows? I want to see a final battle between them all, where we crown one tribal chief. And they all just go off and do their own thing. Some of them can stay in tag teams like Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa because they've not got that aura, and they might, you know, they're probably better off as a tag team. Solo can stay by himself, but maybe have JC Mateo as his friend or whatever. Jacob definitely go off by himself. The Usos are fine by themselves, but also good as tag teams. And everyone else, as we know, are great by themselves. So I agree. Bloodline storyline should be over soon. But I just want that final battle, but that's just dreaming way too big, you know. But dreams do come true. I mean, look at the end of WrestleMania 40. How many people fantasized about that but still believe WWE won't do it, and they did. And there's still things that we are dreaming about that could have happened. For example, when the Shield music hit. If this was to be perfect, when the Shield music hit, that would have been Dean Ambrose. You know, that would have been Dean Ambrose. But nothing's perfect. And Dean Ambrose would never come back to WWE. Well, oh, please. But, come on. The likelihood is very slim. Anyway, let's talk the tag title picture. Last week, Street Profits were defending against Fraxium, and DIY, Motor City were getting involved. And then the Wide Six returned and interrupted everything. So when the Street Profits came out, cut a promo, Fraxium came out and said, you know what, you've never beat me. We've beat you though, we want a rematch. Then Motor City Machine Guns came out to confront Fraxium, which I thought was crazy because they were friends 2 weeks ago. But then I get it when they got on the mic. They said, you know, if your premise for getting a title shot is that the Street Profits never beat you, well, they never beat us. Well, in a one-on-one tag match, you know, like, directly. They've beat them in multi-man matches, but not them specifically. And so they got a point. But then DIY came out with Candice, and Candice is, did you call them noobs? I don't even know what you're called, Fraxium. But she acted as a bit of a mouthpiece for DIY, which I liked. And then DIY said, you know, there's been a conspiracy against DIY, and you've all killing the tag team division. So a moment of silence for the tag team division. And when that moment of silence hit, the White Six came back and beat up everybody. So instead of going through all these individual tag team matches again, I can see somewhere down the line, not a Money in the Bank, probably a Night of Champions maybe. We're probably going to get a Fatal 5-way. We're going to get Street Profits versus Fraxion versus DIY versus Motor City Machine Guns versus the Wyatt Six. And the Wyatt Six are going to take the titles, which is cool. But at the same time, I don't want the Wyatt Six to be focused on as a tag team. You know, they're a big faction. They only need two of them, you know, Dexter Lumis and Joe Gacy to be tag team champions. You know, what about the other two? You've got Rowan and you've got Howdy, and you've also still got Nikki Cross. We have feuds with Aleister Black and Alexa Bliss that we want. We've got all these people that have turned their backs on their friends, like Solo Sikoa and that go after the bloodline type shit. So I hope to still remain their characters, but this is cool to get them back in. And honestly, being tag team champions wouldn't be bad, because they could probably be dominant. And the NXT tag division is the hottest tag division. Like, the brands are so uneven. Like, Smackdown has all the good tag teams and all the good... Like, Raw has some good tag teams and some good women, but SmackDown have the majority of them. And when it comes to male superstars, Raw has the majority of good male superstars. Raw needs to give SmackDown some of their male superstars, and SmackDown needs to give Raw some of their women's superstars in their tag teams, because it's so uneven. We need a draft. Give them a draft. Regardless, exciting times indeed. We did have Los Garza had a match against Rey Fenix and Javon Evans from NXT with Ethan Page at ringside. So let's break it down. Rey Fenix and Javon Evans have been announced in a fatal 4-way against Ethan Page and some other guy from AAA for the Worlds Collide in a fatal 4-way for the NXT North American title. Only one man in AAA from that, though. Javon brought Rey Fenix into the match, so he's friends with him, and they fought in a tag team match so Ethan Page could scout out Rey Fenix, despite the fact that Rey Fenix and Ethan Page were both in AEW. I think the only person he should have to scout out was the guy from AAA, but whatever. But at the same time, while we're focused in on AAA matches, Los Garza are there getting their shine on, because they also have a match at AAA against 3 AAA wrestlers. So I liked how, you know, they were kind of promoting it. And they brought Javon Evans and Ethan Page there. Ethan Page, as a champion, just sat on commentary as an NXT champion. Not the NXT champion, but an NXT champion. Brings eyes to NXT, brings eyes to AAA. They're smart. The marketing is there and it's clever and it's useful because it was an entertaining match. You know, when you have Rey Fenix teaming up with Javon Evans, I mean, and have chemistry, that's crazy, right? You know, the high-flying ability, plus Los Garza, who are great at everything in ring, you know. And Berto has started actually getting along with Santos Escobar a bit more, and they're starting to work as a team, so it looks like maybe they're not even breaking up. Maybe they've had this little mini story to get some hype behind the tag team, so when they start to work, people are supporting them. I like it. But regardless, thanks to Ethan Page, Rey Fenix and Javon Evans lost the match clean. Well, not really clean because it was interruption, but they didn't get rolled up, nothing. Like, Javon got pinned clean, which is a shame for his first match on NXT, but it is what it is. As for the women's title division, you know, Bianca Belair made her return in her hometown, gave a nice promo. That's when Naomi came out and tried to make up with Bianca, and Bianca told her, hell no, and if you ever try shit again, I'll actually hurt you worse than you did to Jade. Jade came out, and then they beat the shit out of Naomi, and then Nia came out, and that's when that triple threat match broke out. But then we also had backstage, Tiffany Stratton was getting an interview, and Alexa Bliss gave us some words and said, you need to worry about me at Money in the Bank, because when I win, I'm cashing in. So really, there's no one specific person for Tiffany Stratton. We're just kind of focused on the Money in the Bank ladder match and who's going to be the next competitor for Tiffany, which I don't mind, you know, because Chaz beat Charlotte, Chaz beat Nia Jax, and we need to prop out. We don't just want to chuck her in a feud. When we've got an opportunity like Money in the Bank, it's time to build a feud, you know. But I think for Tiffany Stratton next, she's probably going to feud with someone like Jade or Bianca or Alexa, and she's either going to retain or Naomi's going to cash in. But regardless, the Naomi cash in is what's going to change in the women's title picture. As for the WWE title picture, Cody Rhodes came out. He was meant to have a face-to-face with John Cena, and then he brought Jey Uso out, which then obviously meant John Cena came out and Logan Paul came out. Here's the weird thing. It looks so bizarre that we have the WWE Champion John Cena standing opposite Cody Rhodes and the World Heavyweight Champion Jey Uso. Jey Uso's a bit random, but he's World Heavyweight Champion. The fact that Logan Paul is a part of that seems crazy. It's, in a way, it's kind of cool because it's like a fever dream, but in another way, you kind of feel like this doesn't look legit. Like, if it was Roman Reigns or Seth Rollins or CM Punk, someone stood there, you'd be like, okay, this is good. But the fact that Logan Paul's there just makes it seem really weird and wacky. But at the same time, out of the four of them, Logan Paul spit an amazing promo. I mean, Jey Uso didn't say a word apart from at the end when he went, oh, we can do this tonight, and then did the fight thing, you know, the classic thing to do every week. Cody Rhodes just, you know, mentioned, like, this was his first time speaking since WrestleMania. He just mentioned how he felt bad for losing at WrestleMania. If John Cena runs away with the title, that's on him. And then he brought out Jey Uso. John Cena had a couple words, and it was bigging up Logan Paul, actually. He was actually saying, you know, Logan Paul, you know, is good. You know, people are mad that he's good, but he is good. And in a way, John Cena can say so little words, and it means so much more. He's just so poetic with his meanings. And Logan Paul played into that very well, played into what John Cena said. And I feel like the work as a tag team, weirdly, Logan Paul and John Cena, polar opposites. Like, John Cena came from nothing when he was in WWE, built his way up using his character and his in-ring commitment. Logan Paul had an outside presence, and we used to see him rarely. We see him quite a bit more now, but we used to see him rarely, and it's outside presence that got him there, and he paid for the trainers, and the wrestling came along with it. He just had to show up, and then the wrestling came along with it. Cena put his time in the ring and got there. So they're polar opposites type of people, but they work so well together, and it's crazy. Like, you wouldn't think it, but they do. And I'm actually excited for this tag team match, you know, like, in a way it is fair, because, like, Jey Uso's miles better in the ring than Logan Paul, but at the same time, he's not John Cena and Cody Rhodes level. Cody Rhodes is the best in-ring one there, and that's only because John Cena's past his prime. John Cena teamed up with Logan. John Cena being past prime, Logan Paul not exactly being there yet. Jey Uso being a B performer, in my opinion, and Cody Rhodes being an A performer. It works. I think it works, and the chemistry's there. And this is something that, you know, we complained about Randy Orton only having a 3-week build-up, but this is a 2-week build-up worthy. This is, you know, we're slapping the match together. And, yeah, I can't lie, I dug the promo. The promo was cool. Logan Paul went in. He went in, like, the rest of them spoke for about 2 to 5 minutes. Logan Paul had a surely 5-minute plus promo. That was great. I don't like to quote promos because I don't want to forget things and say them wrong. But I like to go at the meanings when I see things. It would be better if I could react live, because then I'd be there in the moment and I'd be able to explain the significance of what I'm hearing and how it works and how it sounds so cool. But I can't do that off the back of my memory. I watched it 2 hours ago. But yeah, that was a good promo package, I won't even lie. So I'm excited for the match. I'm excited for what John Cena has down the line. And there was a second where Cena and Logan Paul argued. And then Cody Rhodes, you know, so, what did he say? He went, are you going to go back there? Are you going to keep arguing, or are you going to go back there and polish his peacemaker? Which was obviously another way to say he's sucking him off. But obviously Cena was played in a movie called Peacemaker. Oh no, he was a character called Peacemaker in Suicide Squad. So polishing his peacemaker is just like his piece. Whatever, that was a clever punchline. Where am I going with this? I don't know, but there's planted seeds there for Logan Paul, Cody Rhodes, and Jey Uso, all individual feuds with John Cena after this match. I mean, Cena said Jey and Cody were both wannabe John Cena's. Cody wanted Cena's fame, and Jey wants Cena's money. But they haven't got it, essentially. And obviously, I think there's going to be a Cena-Jey feud. I don't know if they'll unify the titles or if they'll just have a match. Either way would be cool. If it was just a match, Cena would be able to say he was the superior champion. If it was to unify the titles, Cena would become the 18-time world champion, which would make great sense, because he said when he wins, he's becoming 17 to one day shake the hand of the man who becomes 18. That could be himself, and he just applauds himself, and he's like, I am the great one. Not to steal the Rock's thing. And then that would be an extra heel move, but also Logan Paul being a polar opposite of Cena would make great sense for a feud. Maybe after Cena's turned face again, so I'm thinking later on in the year, maybe when Orton comes back and Jay helps, and everyone helps Cody win this title, almost repeating what he did with the Tribal Chief. Wins his title off of Cena, takes it back, and Cena then changes his ways as he's seen what he's done to the company and how everything's turned out. He turns face again. And then him and Logan Paul have a little thing. Not his last match, though. That would be horrible. Just a one-time thing, you know. And that would be pretty cool as well. But I like to envision where it's going, and often it goes the complete opposite direction. Sometimes that leads to disappointment. Sometimes I'm like, it was still good. Can't complain. Banging episode of Smackdown. 3 hours long was outrageous. And it was only in five matches and a couple segments, so the matches were dragged out. They need to actually relax with SmackDown. I know they don't even have more superstars. They've just got a better tag division and a better women's division. It doesn't need to be that long. Raw could pass as being that long, but I think Raw's better being 2.5, 2 hours. SmackDown needs to be the same, if not less. So that's my only thing about it. But thank you all so much for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.